Hi everyone, my name's Keely and I am Layla's mummy and I run the page Life with Diabetes Layla's Journey. I'm here today to talk to you about diabetes burnout, but my view on it is slightly different to somebody who's living with type 1 diabetes. My view is from a parent's point of view. It's hard to get put into words really what diabetes burnout feels like. I have taken a picture where I've done half of my face as it is now with full makeup on, and half of my face with bags under my eyes and test strips in my hair, insulin pens in my hair, and I look like I've not slept for a week. And the reality of it is that I wear makeup every day, and that to me works as my mask and covers probably what's been happening throughout the night and during the day with type 1 diabetes. Now, it's hard for me to sit here and talk about burnout being a mum because I feel selfish in doing that because I'm not the one living with it. I sometimes have to think to myself that if I'm not living with it and I feel like this, how must Layla feel when she's experiencing the highs and lows? But to raise a bit of awareness, I just wanted to talk to you about it from a parent's point of view. So if you're not in this position, when people say to you, I've seen every hour of the night last night, they are not saying they've seen every hour and they've seen, one or two of the hours. They really mean they've seen every hour, because if you're correcting your child, you then get back into bed and your mind is racing, thinking, have I given the correct amount? Have I given too much? What if I send her into a severe hypo? Have I not given enough? What if I check in 2 hours' time and they're still really sky high and at risk of DKA? Then when all that comes out of your mind, it's time to check again. So you've either gone back to sleep and had minimal sleep, or you've just lay there awake overthinking. So then the next morning you then get up and you obviously make breakfast for your child, you do the corrections, whatever you need to do. Then you either get on with your day or you go to work. So I work in a school, so I look after 30 children a day in my class. Diabetes burnout hit a real point for me in sort of May, June this year, where I asked my boss if I could go part-time. Just the lack of sleep, I felt like if something didn't give, I was going to end up quite poorly. So I'm now part-time, and I have to say that does help because it gets me through knowing that if I've not had a good sleep and I'm going to work, I know that the next day I'm going to be off. So it's something I'd recommend, looking into if it's doable for you, definitely. But I understand that money as well. Of course, that came into it for us, and it is a worry. But we had to just think, I'm going to have to put my health first, because I was going to work on like 2 hours sleep. I was trying to leave my husband to sleep because he's the main earner of the household and he works with big equipment. So I was thinking I'm going to have to let him sleep. He's brilliant, my husband, so he would, say no, I'm getting up. But I would always feel like he's working with equipment and it's really dangerous. So I would get up. Diabetes burnout, guys, it is real, and I can't stress to you enough that the one thing that helped me is talking to other people, because you're completely not alone with it. It's something that probably every parent, well, I'm not even probably, definitely every parent of a type 1 diabetic child will have felt at some point. Maybe they won't admit it. So my one thing to you is to say is just be kind to them. To go into your child while they're sleeping at night and check them, and correct them with an injection, it's heartbreaking. You should be going in, tucking in your child and giving them a kiss goodnight. You shouldn't have to give them an injection. So that is a really, really tough one, and one that I struggled with for a very, very long time. Still do, to be honest. And then the other one is checking on a child who's gone into a hypo, who you may have to force feed them like jelly babies or a shot drink or something while they're fast asleep. And sometimes that's really, really hard, because it's not that they don't want to wake up, but they're in a hyperglycemic, attack, and they're also asleep. So waking them to eat or drink, I wouldn't want to be woken to eat or drink, because when I'm sleeping, I can't think many people would. So that's really hard too. and it all takes an effect on you mentally. So then when you get back into bed, you just don't sleep, and diabetes burnout, it's real. Then you've got, the repeat prescriptions that have to go in, making sure you've got everything you need, checking the dates of everything, stocking up on your hypo treatments, rearranging your house so that you've got somewhere to keep sharps, so that if you've got other little fingers, they're not going to get hold of them. There's just so many factors that people just don't think about. So like I say, my one piece of advice is please be kind to anybody who's going through it. And like I say, diabetes burnout, for Layla, she's 100% felt it. 100%. She's 10, so she wouldn't call it that. She would probably just say I'm really tired. But there's been numerous times, where she's burst into tears and she's just had enough. Absolutely had enough. And I don't blame her. And I think that probably most type 1 diabetics have probably felt this at some point, and unfortunately will probably feel again. So all I can say is speak up, do not suffer alone, and my inbox is always open. I can't always say I'll, be a great help, but I will always try. So #diabetesburnout. Lots of love.